Okay, so there is a terror in the USA that has been going on for decades, targeting children and eliminating parents with death and jail. This terror is happening through weaponized local courthouses, police departments, jails, and other state-sponsored offices. I have written extensively about this. You can find the links at the link tree. There's a one-page flyer front and back that's a good summary. There's the Black Bubble Part 1, which goes more into the what, where, when, why, how, and who of all this. And then there's the Black Bubble Part 2, which is where I name more than 60 names of deceptive role players, judges, attorneys, guardian ad litems, police officers, and other state-sponsored offices in these terrors of wrongfully removing more than 50,000 children a year from American homes for subsidy schemes designed to target the well-intending federal government, and then eliminating parents along the way with death or jail or other terrifying ways. There is a group based in Wisconsin called the AFCC.org, and it stands for something like American Family Conciliation Courts, whatever. It's a superficial virtue signaling name to try and hide the terror of what they are. Because even though they claim that they don't interview or vet or qualify or penalize or punish or suspend any members, the members demand on working with each other even when their services are far inferior to others. As part of this, I've proved how a corrupt judge, a guardian ad litem, and other attorneys who are all AFCC members in Salt Lake City, Utah, are using a deceptive psychologist in Logan, Utah, to wrongfully remove Utah children from homes and eliminate parents with death or jail. The way they do that with death is by overwhelming the parents in unimaginable, terrifying ways to get the parents so overwhelmed that they commit suicide, or that they do something stupid and self-medicate with drugs or alcohol, or worse. And there's even times when they will use young, trick and triggered cops to ritualistically kill a parent and disguise it as an arrest. It's very easy for them to make the worst happen and to blame the parent. In other cases, they will forge jail sentences, forge arrest warrants to silence a parent with jail, as I experienced this year. And as I share in part 2 of the Black Bubble. This same group, this AFCC, is trying to kill Britney Spears, just like they try to kill off all parents who are targeted with this. On September 20th, the local ballpark, which is the home of the Salt Lake Bees, who is the AAA affiliate of the Los Angeles Angels, has somehow been duped into hosting this same Utah chapter of the AFCC, the same one that is using the American flag, courthouses, police departments, and jails, and the deceptive psychologists to wrongfully remove children. This ballpark has been duped into hosting this Utah chapter of the AFCC for the game that Friday night, and we are going to be there in a loud but peaceful demonstration about what the AFCC really is, that they have hijacked our local police departments, courthouses, jails, and other state-sponsored offices in Utah and dozens of the most corrupt states, and that they will stop at nothing to keep it all hidden. I promise you that the way the AFCC works to do this, to steal millions, hundreds of millions from the well-intending federal government, but then to steal millions more in the other terrors they commit. But then they are also betting, literally gambling, on what parents they can induce to commit suicide. And I promise you that this is why this has continued for Britney Spears for so long the way it has, that Britney, they are trying to kill you by getting you to kill yourself. So don't do that. They are trying to induce you to commit suicide. They have weaponized Federline to do these terrorizing things. They've weaponized Federline to use dark, sinister parental alienation tactics to try to get your two sons to do alienating things. And the terror is that the reason children do this is because they're just in a self-preservation mode. But these recent videos that have been released, that's all a weaponization to weaponize Federline. And they probably have millions upon millions of dollars bet on you, and those bets probably go back 20 years. The reason why sinister people do this, some of the reasons are that it goes way, way back to their childhood. And it happens because when people experience trauma, and something that's traumatic to one person may not be traumatic to another, but it's still trauma nonetheless, and it matters. But when people experience trauma, they either choose to heal and continue to grow and find the brighter light, or they choose to hide, haul, and heap and project it. And they use that trauma as an excuse to target other people, take advantage of other people, and hurt other people. And then they do worse and worse things to try and hide the worse and worse things they do. And when they all get together in a group, like we see through these hijacked local courthouses, police departments, jails, and other state-sponsored offices, it's like a circus of assassins, and within that is the gambling circus of assassins. That it's not enough for them to do these terrorizing things, to wrongfully remove tens of thousands of children a year and eliminate parents with death and jail, but they actually are betting on what parents they can induce to commit suicide. They are using Federline as a weapon to do that as they do it. The reason why Federline does this is because it goes way, way back to ways he is broken by whatever. And that may even include that he's a closeted gay person, a closeted transgender, and that he projects all this onto Britney Spears and misbelieves that if he can eliminate Britney Spears, that'll be some sort of satisfaction for him. But it won't, because that's how this terror works. There's no amount of money or elimination that will ever bring satisfaction to these broken people. And that's why they continue to do the worse and worse things they do. Oprah Winfrey summed it up as saying it's the abuse that abuse produced. Kanye West said something good, that hurt people, that people who are hurt other people. And that's really what it all goes back to, is this simple, basic thing, that trauma, which can happen in many ways, and many of those which aren't even their fault or have anything to do with them, but they then choose to use that trauma as an excuse to hurt others rather than healing, and we see the worst happen. So Brittany, come to Salt Lake City, Utah on September 20th and be a part of this demonstration to speak up and stand out with us about these terrors so that we can end this for Utah and dozens of the most corrupt states and the entire USA, and help the federal government understand what these states are doing to steal from it and to blame it on the federal government and to blame it on the American flag, as I share in the Black Bubble. Have your people call me, 801-278-7000. We'll keep it discreet. We don't have to announce if you're going to be there or not, but we can plan it right and make it good for everyone. Bring your friend Paris. She's a mom now, 2 kids. They're probably going to start targeting her. There's other people out there. I think even Kanye probably experienced this same targeting in what he went through. And they are so sinister in how they do it and what they do that no one even has known for so many decades. But now with these tools of social media, we've been able to identify this, and I promise you there are thousands upon thousands of parents in the ground, as well as children who didn't survive this, but thousands upon thousands more who are surviving every day because of this. So let's get this done. Let's make this demonstration happen on September 20th. Let's save Britney Spears, and let's just keep shining this brighter light. Thank you.